All right, what is up? Again, I'm very excited because I have another amazing guest joining me today. We're at NAMM 2019. Today's been filled with just legend after legend after legend. And what a way to end today.
What?
Other than with the legendary Brian Culbertson. How are you doing,
What's up?
man?
I'm good, man. Good to be here.
I dig the hair, man. Every time I see you, like this guy, amazing hair.
Oh, geez.
Yeah.
You know, my hairdresser came up with it one day. I'm like, okay, sure.
That's just what
and
happens.
Here we are.
That's what happens. Guys,
Yeah.
for those of you guys who may not know, Brian is a legendary musician, just all around phenomenal musician. And I have to tell this story because I may not be super young, but I'm not necessarily like the oldest.
Right.
I got introduced to Brian through some of your work that you've done at Capitol Records, and there's
Sure.
a lot of videos going around showcasing your amazing talent, your amazing musicality, the amazing band you have. I mean, man, like how is it that you can put some of these great bands together?
Well, it was interesting, that recording or film that you referencing, I came up with this idea I wanted to film a concert of mine.
Yeah.
But at the time, I didn't feel comfortable with the level of production that we had. I didn't have like a steady LD with us.
Right.
And so I said, well, instead of filming a traditional concert, what if we go into a recording studio and still play everything live?
Yeah.
But capture that feeling, and it really has resonated with people.
Exactly.
I mean, you know, YouTube is just blowing up with these videos that we did several years ago, because I think it's just unique. It's showing the close-ups with just regular lights, you know, not all the flashing of a concert video. So that was a kind of a cool thing. However, this past year, out on tour, I finally did film a concert, which is coming out in a couple weeks, by the way, live in Las Vegas.
Very cool. When is it coming out specifically?
Valentine's Day, officially.
Valentine's Day.
Yeah, so on Blu-ray and digitally everywhere. So.
Wow. Where in Las Vegas did you perform?
It was a casino called the Aliante Casino, off the strip, but it has an amazing little showroom. We did 2 nights there.
Yeah.
So we got to capture 2 and then kind of utilize the best of the footage. So it turned out really good.
I can't wait to watch that video.
Yeah.
Brian, you are known as someone who, if I'm not mistaken, you started out in the jazz world.
I did, yeah. I mean, you know, just being a piano player.
Right.
I'm not a singer. So I was listening to, you know, jazz radio, contemporary jazz radio in Chicago, where I grew up. And I was like, man, I really dig this stuff, like David Sanborn and Bob James and Jeff Lorber and George Duke. That's the kind of stuff I was listening to, as well as like the funk horn bands like Earth, Wind and Fire and Tower Power and that kind of stuff. So my music is kind of that mix between the two.
I noticed that. You have a lot, there's a lot of harmony going on, but so much funk.
Oh, yeah.
And what you have in the background. And guys, if you actually check out some of his videos that have gone viral, you'll see that. You get this nice mixture of what someone might consider like a little bit smooth jazz with all those nice little tones.
But with horn section and we get a little nasty.
I mean, I'm a drummer, and I could not stop listening. I put that on loop.
Oh, cool,
There's so much backbeat going on. It was amazing. And one of the things that I love about you is that it seems that your music seems to be resonating and sort of not transitioning, but crossing over from a strictly jazz world to sort of people that are interested in the pop side and in other sides.
Yeah.
I would want to know, why do you think that your music is doing that, is able to sort of cross over?
I mean, to me, one thing that I learned early, and I had some great mentors, everyone was always stressing the melody to me. Even though I played jazz, it's like, you know how some jazz is like kind of all over the place.
Yeah.
And it's hard to really kind of grasp onto. So like I said, a lot of my mentors were really like, hey, you need to listen to pop music and really study the melodic structures of those. And so that's always been in my head, to create piano melodies that everybody can kind of catch on to, sing along with, or what have you. So to me, that's kind of what maybe crossover or helps it do that.
I love that. What
a little
kind
more
of
accessible jazz, if you will.
Which people or which artists in the pop realm did you sort of listen to get that idea?
Oh, geez, I'd listen to everything. I got to be honest. Everything from rock to pop to EDM to you name it. I'm kind of all of it. And then, you know, some days I'll listen to classical. So I'm honestly checking out everything. And now I'm like streaming everything, just listening. What is new? What's new and hot? What's new and hot? I got to just check it all out. So people think I'm in the jazz world. I'm listening to only jazz records. Couldn't be further from the truth. You know, I got to bring in influences from everywhere. Really.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you can't grow as an artist, you know?
Right. You know, honestly, I'm glad you bring that up, because I tend to find that some of the best musicians that I know, that I see playing with the bands, they have a good grasp of what is what makes a song good in multiple genres?
Sure.
Would you argue that the best musicians that you find tend to have that sort of knowledge that, okay, I may not listen to hip hop, but this is what makes a great hip hop song?
Absolutely. You know, you got to understand a good song. What is a good song? And a good song can transcend any genre, depending on how you produce it.
That is true.
Think about that. That's why some of the classic songs have been covered by anybody and everybody, because it's a great song at its core.
And so what would you argue makes a good song? Especially for someone like you who makes amazing music that I can listen to on loop over and over and over again.
I mean, it's all subjective, but I mean,
well, what is Brian? What to you, when you sit down to make a song and you finally complete it and you're like, this is a good song?
Well, I mean, it has to have a good chord structure that's not too crazy, but also interesting. Like, oh, you got to have a couple twists, not just like, you know, the standard ones.
Right.
And then again, it all comes down to that melody. Once that hook hits, you got to build up to that hook and then have a hook that's just like, oh, you know.
That drives it home and everyone can sing to.
That's a hit song right there. You know?
I love it.
That's what it comes down to.
It's the hit song and from the legend himself. So you have the video coming out on Valentine's Day of your concert in Las Vegas.
It's called Colors of Love Tour, live in Las Vegas.
I love it.
So
what else do you have?
I got a trailer up on YouTube now.
A trailer up on YouTube, which is probably going to go viral knowing this guy, which how good your music is. Other than that video, what other stuff do you have coming up this year?
Wow, I'm just going to be continuing to tour all over the place. And then throughout this year, I'm actually recording 2 separate albums. Over this Christmas break, I actually wrote a whole winter-themed album, not a Christmas album.
Oh, interesting.
I wanted to change it up a little bit.
What makes it winter themed?
I was in Chicago over Christmas, and just walking around every day, I just had a great feeling of the crisp air. You see your breath, you look out the window that's frosted up. Just that feeling, I started writing songs that way and imagining myself inside, late at night, with the fireplace on, drinking some wine, kicking back and chilling.
Man. Yes.
So this whole record is that, and I'm calling it Winter Stories. So every song has a little story about what I feel winter is about to me.
Grab that wine, put on that record, sit by the fireplace.
That's right. It's more of a jazz trio record, which I've never done. Just piano, acoustic bass, and drums.
Was it a little challenging coming from what you normally do?
It's definitely challenging, but hey, I'd like to change it up, and thankfully, my fan base loves to follow me wherever I go. I've gone R&B, I've gone funk, I've gone traditional smooth jazz, and everywhere in between. So I'm always trying to experiment, trying to do something new. So I'm about to record that actually in the studio. I've written the songs, and then later this year I'm making another dance funk party record.
Oh yeah.
That's going to come out about a year from now.
Oh man, you should do it sooner because I'm excited to hear what
well,
that's
we're
like.
going to go out on a big tour again, routed tour.
Oh,
so
man.
I love going out on tour, on the bus tours where we bring full production, our own full lighting rigs and everything.
Yeah.
And oh man, it's so much fun.
Fantastic.
So much fun.
Fantastic. As you guys can tell, he's the master. He knows what he's doing, and he's always going to deliver us with amazing music. Mr. Brian, thank you so much for taking your time out of your day.
Thank you.
I appreciate it. Make sure to check out those videos. This guy is insane. You're amazing. Thank you.
Thank you.